Hi everyone. Welcome to State of Matter. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm AJ Biswas. I'm the lead gameplay engineer and music composer for State of Matter.
I'm Jack Lena. I'm the project manager and producer on the game, and then I've also been doing a bit of the programming and VFX part.
How big is your team?
We started as 6, and we've been having a little bit of external help every now and then, but overall our core members are 6.
Cool beans. Let's go see it.
All right.
So, you want to explain the game?
Yeah, so State of Matter is an action kind of combat puzzle combo first-person shooter that basically you are an agent who is tasked with investigating an abandoned mining station out in the Kuiper Belt. And as you continue to explore, you figure out what went wrong and why it's been abandoned. Your initial goal is to kind of retrieve this big kind of repository of a new resource that was discovered called plutonite. And plutonite is the main mechanic of the game. It's what allows you to kind of traverse various areas and complete puzzles and stuff.
Graphically, this is lovely.
Yeah, so here's the other thing about this game. It's this game was made with a very somewhat new engine, or it's pretty brand new. It's called the Open 3D engine, and we were essentially contracted by the Open 3D Foundation, who manages this engine, to build this game, and it is currently set to be published as the first commercial product, or the first commercial game ever released with this engine. So that is pretty much what the gist of it is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And the very cool thing about this engine is that its graphics capabilities are very state-of-the-art.
And this is open source.
This is open source, fully open source. You can look at the code, you can fork it.
The engine is, not the game.
No, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The game is not open source. The engine's open source.
Where did the idea come from?
This game originally started as a production studio project way back in the spring of 2023. We actually had 8 members on the team back then, and it was basically it started as a concept that was kind of a merge of 3 different concepts from 3 different students, and we kind of merged it all into one. And from there, since we had pretty much everyone of practically every single discipline on the team, we had an artist, we had music, we had sound effects person, we had multiple designers, we had multiple programmers, we had everything. So we basically decided, hey, we could do some really cool things with this. Considering how many people we have, we could honestly stretch out the scope here more than we were initially wanting to do. So we decided. So by the end of the production studio, we had a very cool concept, and we were. Essentially, that is when the Open 3D Foundation essentially selected us to port this game over to their engine and then essentially remake and publish. So since then, we've been working on this. So all throughout the summer and the fall and to now.
They approached you. Was there like a
They didn't approach us, but it was
like a pilot program called Project Eureka, where they were looking for student teams from RIT to provide funding to, pretty similar to the Magic Maker program. But instead of, the Magic Maker where it's a bit separate, this is more directly, we're making this for the foundation stakeholders so that they have a game that's made in their engine and they're able to show off the capabilities of their engine.
That is fabulous. Are you guys getting co-op credit for that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, we got co-op credit.
I'm always signing these forms, so I'll make sure this is absolutely co-op.
Yeah, this definitely counted as co-op credit.
Fantastic.
Because we've been working on it all the way into the fall, this counted for more than one for us. So,
what would you say is the hook? What is the thing you're most hyped about in terms of this game?
I think the vast amount of potential experimentation that the player can kind of do with the mechanics given to them, especially when they get to points when they are able to access more mechanics with the gun that they have. Because the primary thing about this game is, hence the name, you essentially use the different states of matter to traverse your way around and defend yourself against things like these bots here. Right now, you start with gas mode, which you emit giant fumes of gas after charging it for a bit, and it melts the plutonite ice around you, which allows you to traverse areas and stuff. When you get further on into the game, which would be right now past the demo, you would unlock liquid mode, which is, in my opinion, the primary thing about this game that really makes it shine. So it's unfortunate that it doesn't really exist in the demo, but past the demo, you get it pretty soon after the demo. It allows you to kind of basically extrude out ice. So whereas gas allows you to melt ice, liquid mode, you shoot it at an ice block, and you can literally extrude it out and create your own platforms, or cover if you need that as well against like ranged attacks. And then there's solid mode, which allows you to place your own ice blocks rather than use the ones that are placed throughout the environment. And so utilizing these three different states of matter, you complete puzzles, you fight against difficult enemies, and that's pretty much what it is. And so I think you can probably imagine just how much freedom players can kind of experiment with, just given these mechanics. And so far we've had a lot of fun kind of just watching what people do with it. It's been awesome.
Yeah, because we'll make one path that we think is the ideal path, and then someone uses liquid to build like a route 8 miles in the other direction and still reach the right spot, and they're like, oh, I'm a genius, I figured it out. And I just fell.
That's great.
It's really cool.
Oh, interesting. So you're taking advantage, like when something goes into a gaseous form, that it takes more volume to create pressure as well as temperature?
Not really. Mainly the primary thing that gas mode allows is to just to melt things so that you can traverse those areas, and also complete various puzzles like the one you see right now. And also, if you've seen those exploding barrels that Jack's been using, what we call fuel cells, you can also use gas mode on those to essentially light their fuse, after which they explode after 2 seconds. But the most common use of those fuel cells is to lob them at things because people like explosions. So that ties very much into a later point in this demo that Jack will get to soon. But congratulations, you just completed the first puzzle, and that opens the primary facility entrance. So now he's returning to the surface and going to explore deeper into the facility to see what else it has in store.
This is aesthetically rich.
Yeah, regarding the aesthetics, we've had our artist, Liam, who has been hard at work doing all of the 3D modeling environmental assets for us, and he's very talented. He's very good at what he does. And then, of course, we have our texturer, Mert, who is currently graduated, but he's still been helping us out regardless, every now and then. And he's responsible for things like these enemy textures and also the general textures throughout the environment as well. And both of them are extremely talented people, and we are very grateful for having them on board.
I include audio aesthetics, and I can't hear it, but you said that you're getting very good.
Yeah, regarding audio as well, we have Aiden as our main sound effects guy, and he's very good with the sound effects. We can't hear it on our end, but for people on the stream, you guys can hear things like the gas mode charging and firing and the enemies lunging at you. Those have been very highly polished after all these months, and he's been working very hard on those. And then, of course, there's the music, which I'm responsible for. All of the music in this game as well. We've been getting some pretty good feedback regarding it. Primarily at this point, we're looking for things like making sure that nothing's too loud or too overbearing on the player, because it's obviously very important. But yeah, I'd say that the aesthetics of this game so far are a very strong point.
Where are you at in terms of production to shipping?
We are very close. At this point, pretty much all that needs to get in now is art. We have everything else is done. The levels, the level design, the mechanics, and the gameplay. A lot of that has been pretty highly polished from start to finish, and we are just waiting on some environmental assets at this point. So we are planning to release very soon.
Okay.
Very soon.
Where would we be looking for it?
On
So
Steam.
we are currently we have a Steam page up. It's available for wish listing. We are looking to release soon. Again, like AJ said, there's just a little bit more art that we've got to finish up, and then we are in a good position to ship.
That is fantastic. Take a look here. I'm not sure where we are in time. What is your favorite part of this game? Each of you. Separately.
I guess I'll go first. My favorite part, probably the third level in the game, specifically because there is a particular enemy in that area that is somewhat difficult to beat, and personally I have a lot of fun fighting. And also, in my opinion, I have done, I think that is my personal favorite soundtrack is in level 3 as compared to the rest of the game. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what people think about the music and the sound effects in that area in particular, because I really like the feel of that place.
I'm a big fan of the ending of the game, sort of the ending sequence. I'm a little biased because I actually helped design that part, but I think it's a really good culmination of all the abilities we've given the player, all the skills they've learned throughout playing the game. There's a ton of nice musical bits that AJ put in that I really appreciate because I'm a minor music nerd. So a lot of little stuff that all comes together for that ending sequence that I really like.
Come on, Jack.
I keep jumping, you know this. We'll get there.
Primarily puzzle, some combat.
Puzzle, combat, and definitely a bit of platforming for at least this first area. Well, there is a bit of platforming throughout the game, so it's kind of like a peripheral thing.
Platforming is helped out a little bit in the later levels by the fact that you can just sort of build wherever you want to make your own paths.
Also very true.
That is cool. Oh, interesting. Is there text there that I want to read?
Just so you know, you hit a checkpoint.
Okay.
Yes, the goal here is to essentially power on all these generators so you can wake up the robot that's sleeping up there.
Yeah, so the kind of big puzzle in this main level is, we're calling it a sequence puzzle, where you've got ice blocks on those white pipes and you have to melt them in a very specific order, and the way to determine what that order is by looking at these different consoles that Jack has been powering, like this one right here. When he powers it, it shows essentially at what sequence, what ice block to melt at what sequence. And so you use these 5 consoles to essentially figure out what is the code and what is the correct way. Because if you fail the sequence, the whole thing resets, and so you can't exactly brute force it. Not easily anyway. There's like a 1 in 120 chance of brute forcing. There used to be only 4 consoles, but we decided to make the change to add a 5th one because players were, even after the fact that if you fail, the code resets to a different one that's randomly decided. People are still brute forcing, basically just kind of melting random ice blocks until they finally get the right code. And we definitely don't want that because that just makes it that much more difficult to figure out what's going on when you get to this room, which builds on that puzzle mechanic. So we decided, all right, well, let's add a 5th console to reduce that the chance of brute force. Of course, the chance is still there, but it's a whole lot less now. And I think we're after having been watching the other people play downstairs. No one's really brute forced this, and they've actually figured out what actually to do now. And so far, we've been very satisfied with how people have been playing through this first level in the demo.
You said there's a demo, and then after that's the liquid recording. Does that mean the demo is free, and then it's like you get some money and then you get the rest of it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So this demo
So,
is
yeah.
publicly available on itch, and then soon we'll have the Steam release up, and I believe it's currently planning to sell for $2.
$2.
Yeah.
Okay. $2?
Yeah.
So it's about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay, depending on how good you are at puzzles. So
Okay, so we'll make sure that when this recording goes out, we'll have all the relevant information and links to your itch page and also to your Steam page.
Awesome. To anyone watching, make sure you're wish listing on Steam.
yeah.
Support them. Let's see.
All right, looks like Jack is about to complete this puzzle here.
Okay, I think we're going to be wrapping up right now. Very quickly. You want to drop a knowledge bomb for any developers out there?
Well, Jack just initiated the final cutscene for this demo, but
Okay.
yeah.
So while that's going on, what you got?
Go.
Keep making stuff. I mean, at this point, we've just been continuously finding ways to break this engine to make it do what we want for the past 10 months. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of trial and error. We just got to keep working. You'll eventually get something good.
Yeah. The more you do it, the better you get. That is definitely what I've learned. It's very simple too.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.